today I want to talk about yoga milestones. So I'll just talk a little bit about myself. So I have been doing yoga since a very, very long time, since 1990s. So that's like 30 years, over 30 years. And so I've always practiced more or less daily, but it's a bit up and down. Sometimes did a lot, sometimes not, sort of because things happen in life. And anyway, so I want to talk about the lockdown, COVID lockdown. So it's 4 or 5 years ago now. And what did you do? Do you remember what you did in the COVID lockdown? I did lots of yoga. So partly because I couldn't teach in-person classes. I taught online, but I couldn't teach as many classes as before. So I had more time. But also because I had access. So COVID started really online yoga yoga boom. Not only I started my own online classes, but it really gave me the opportunity to take part in other people's yoga classes. So I did lots of Ashtanga yoga because I learned my yoga in London. So there are Ashtanga teachers I could go. But when I moved to North Devon, that's where I live, we are quite isolated from lots of places. And the nearest Ashtanga teacher is in Exeter, which is, for me, it's over an hour drive. So it's really not really possible to go weekly or regularly. So I have been really cut off from the Ashtanga world. So I kept up my practice by just practicing on my own and practicing with other yoga, Ashtanga yoga, sort of enthusiasts in the area, but without a teacher. And that's good to keep up practice, but to make progress, it's a little bit difficult without any input. So during the lockdown, I suddenly had access to these sort of international Ashtanga senior teachers. So I joined the classes, and every day, 6 days a week, I practice in the morning. And that was really, really good, great. And I made some progress. So so since I left London, I have been working on my backbend, but in my own way. And since I started practicing again with teachers in 2020, I immediately just started working more on my backbends. And naturally, I'm very flexible going forward. So going forward bend is quite easy for me. But back bend is really hard. It doesn't come naturally to me. So I really have to work on back bend. So there are two postures I worked. One is called Kapotasana. And basically that's extreme version. You know the camel pose? The one which goes back like this. So it's extreme version of camel pose. So that's really difficult posture. And also another one is drop back. So stand and go back all the way to the floor. So these are really quite difficult postures. And I didn't think I would get there, but I've been working. Then, really to my nice surprise, after a few months, I managed to do Kapotasana. I can still do. And that was really great. Then lockdown ended. Then the teacher who I was working on at that time went back to teach his studio class. So I lost my teacher. So I have been back on working on my own. Then about a year ago, I found another online teacher, Ashtanga online teacher. So I have been practicing. Then maybe after a few months since I started working with him, I managed my first drop back. So dropped all the way back to the floor. So when I started practicing, initially I went back down to the sofa. So went back. Maybe I just demonstrate a little bit. So go down all the way back to the sofa. Then remove the sofa cushions, so drop to the base of the sofa. So in other words, I kept lower and lower and lower, and eventually, just maybe 8 months ago, I managed to go all the way to the floor. And that's, to me, that's amazing achievement, because I didn't think I would ever do this. And now I'm working on another posture. It's quite different. It's called the Mayurasana, and it's peacock pose. It's a very ancient pose, and I'll just demonstrate a little bit, but I really, really cannot do this, and I'm working on this. I have my mat here. Okay. So I just show you to see what it's like. So you put your hands like this. Then you basically become horizontal. Take your feet off, head off. So as you can see, I'm nowhere near. But what I really want to say today is I'm nowhere near, but I'm learning and I'm making a little progress each time I do with the input and the help of the teacher. So it's really it's great to celebrate your milestones, because some postures are really difficult. You work to achieve, and once you get there, you need to celebrate. It's really great without boasting. And once you achieve something, it gives you a new platform to work on something else. So I'm really happy that I'm working on the posture, which doesn't seem possible, but I'm working, I'm chipping away. And it would be great if I can get there, but if I don't, it doesn't matter, because I love working towards the challenge. And even if I don't get the result, I'll be still getting stronger. I'm still learning the balance. I'm still learning a lot of things. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. If you have your yoga milestone, please share in the comment. Thank you.